Hi, this is Tim Santoni and welcome to the Ask a PI show, where we answer those questions you've always wanted to know but didn't know who to ask. Today we're going to give you 6 tips you can use to successfully execute a test, purchase, and undercover buy program for your business. Stay tuned. So you've got a business manager that comes to you and says, hey, we need to start making purchases of infringing goods from distributors to determine product quality, infringement, or gain some business intelligence. What do? You can contact a law firm, you can contact an investigator, but these 6 tips will help you to manage that program effectively no matter what route you go. First, utilize anonymous front companies. So whether you're doing it yourself or you're outsourcing it, you want to keep in mind that having anonymous front companies to keep your identity discreet and anonymous is crucial. Having various fronts throughout the company will give you information you need to actually determine where the goods are coming from and also to maintain that anonymity that you need. Second, utilize multiple online personas. Another key factor to think about is utilizing multiple online personas, which means various email addresses, IP addresses, and online credit cards and buying methods to decrease the detection by the seller so that they not block sales to you or to your personas. Third, execute a buy report and chain of custody. When you're making your online buys and you're doing them yourself, one thing to keep in mind is that you're going to need some sort of way to document the buy. So a buy report and a chain of custody is critical if you're going to use those undercover buys for the purposes of litigation. You need to prove what was purchased, where it came from, identification of the product once you received it, and formalize that so that it can be used by an attorney to support your enforcement actions. Additionally, a chain of custody to ensure that you can then validate that the product, how it made it to you and how you maintain security and that it was not tampered with, altered, or otherwise cause issues as it relates to litigation. 4, identify the seller and associated businesses. The end goal of making undercover buys or implementing a test purchase program would be to uncover the true identity or the business behind the sale of the product. This can be done through utilizing investigative tools and online databases to actually determine who this person is, whether it's coming off of Amazon, eBay, or another online marketplace. If you're going to enforce, contact, or send a cease and desist letter, you need to know who that person is. So look to make buys from those marketplaces where you can obtain information and shipping information. For instance, if you purchase from Amazon and Amazon fulfills, all you're going to determine is the Amazon warehouse where it came from, as opposed to buying from the seller's website directly. You're going to get shipping information, email addresses, contact phone numbers, and information you can use to enforce down the road. 5, retention and storage of goods. So now you've implemented the program, you've made some test purchases, you're identifying the businesses behind these. Now we're talking about retention and storage of the goods. It's vitally important that the retention and storage is well documented and it's done in a secure way so that in the event that the evidence needs to be presented in deposition or in court, that you have secure chain of custody and you can validate that this is the actual product purchased. And doing that, it can be done by yourself or it can be outsourced to a third party. However you do it, you want to make sure you have documentation and chain of custody. 6, destruction or donation of goods, post-litigation or settlement. Okay, so now the last part. Now you've purchased the goods, you've stored them, you've determined that either there's no litigation that's going to ensue, you've settled the case, or you've just obtained the evidence for the purposes of competitive intelligence and you tested the product. Now what? You don't want that product to end up back in the supply chain on an online marketplace or for sale in a swap meet. So the key thing is to think about is who can you donate the product to that would use it maybe in another jurisdiction or another area outside the country using a resource like World Vision, or just doing a destruction of the evidence where you can actually either shred, if it's electronics, going through an e-waste disposal company and getting a certificate of destruction. So you can prove to you and your client that there was an official destruction done of the product and there's no chance it's going to be resold in another marketplace. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Please leave some comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. We look forward to seeing you in a future episode.